But are we actually? That is the question. Okay. If that crashes one more time, we'll just call it tonight. I don't know why it's being a poopy face. My my Wi-Fi is just dropping in and out periodically. Not sure. We'll see. Anyway.
And from your perspective behind the kit, like what are some things that you noticed after the first listen?
You know, we use the drum kit from a very percussive standpoint sometimes in this show. You know, it's not just
I know, right?
like, oh, I'll just bang out beats. It's more you're trying to think of like how to shape, you know, music from a percussive standpoint.
Yeah.
So definitely was hearing like cymbal swells and kind of big drums, and we've got some real big drums over here we could incorporate.
Yeah.
For that whole intro section, but then it kind of, you know, just got into this high energy.
Yeah, it's strategic.
Like dance,
100%.
jump, you know. So.
Yeah. What is that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So this is going to be.
I take it this is their chart.
Oh. Okay.
And apparently I'm the missing piece.
Well, let's take a look at it. I mean, so. And they put you
on their last at the sort of center top because that's their main mission is to connect to you. And maybe you are representing the audience because that's the main mission of the Blue Men anyway, is to try to communicate. I see some things.
I wonder if these guys have families.
We're gonna want to incorporate into the final run.
I really like the idea of if you were to be famous, being someone incognito, so you could just like live your life normally.
Do the final take.
Let's see what they bring out.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?
God damn, Nikki. They're pretty spot on though. I feel this song kind of leads you into it. Damn. feel like there's just so much going on. It's just mesmerizing at the moment. I wonder how fun it would be to drum on that big drum. Did I finish the playlist? Yeah, let's say I finished it for now. Let's just go with that. There's so many games to go through. Actually, maybe on Twitch Tracker, it'll give me the history of all the games I've played. The problem is, because you can game categorize on Twitch, I haven't necessarily game categorized on my titles, which would be helpful for YouTube, and then I'll do that from now on. That is my take-home message. But it's also a lot easier from now anyway, because they'll be uploaded in order, not all at once.
What do you say to that? For you as a drummer, like, what was that like? It's the first time you've played this.
I love how you
all of
just
that
knew
stuff
Nikki as
happening.
well.
Man,
Thank
It's
you.
an onslaught.
Yeah, there'll be a lot
It's a
here.
full-on onslaught, but that means they liked it.
Perfect. So, are
Yeah.
you ready to hear the original track?
Oh man, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's called "Welcome to the Black Parade" by My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
I'm sure you may have heard of that band before.
It definitely sounds familiar. My kids probably have heard of them. But,
Yeah, exactly. And the drummer is Bob Breyer. This song was massive, 2006.
Can't wait to hear it. I'm really curious. Oh,
They're back.
hi. Hi guys.
Maybe they want to play it again.
Yeah. I think they're attracted by the sound. So far, it sounds the same. Ah,
Kind of like a marching snare in there.
got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course. See a marching band. Oh, I think just go with it.
Bro, what? Very cool. Alright. That was actually really good. 10 out of 10. Go ahead and link this
Now,
one.
the difference between an average person and a
I will make this the last video.
billionaire is essentially zero. Unfortunately, about 9 of them. Nevertheless, if you're a regular person,
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. Like I've forgotten the dude's name. Well, I say I've forgotten. I never knew it. The guy who does Pony, he did a really good lip sync battle. Yeah, Channing. That's actually Channing Tatum, right? Wait, Anne Hathaway's done one? Can you link it to me? I was just asking if you watched it as well, Mia.
you walk around the same streets as both the riff, the RAF, and professionals all the same. You probably know people who still live at home, friends slumming it with roommates, couples sharing a 2-bedroom, and high earners with a single family home, a dog, 2 kids, and the white picket fence, giving you a decent perspective of life for the average person. But when you're so rich that money basically doesn't matter, everything changes completely. One unavoidable characteristic of becoming a billionaire is that you end up in such an isolated social circle that you often cease to relate to the common person and your life becomes unrecognizable. For this reason, billionaires actually have more in common with the homeless than they do with most people. Doesn't pay taxes, undiagnosed mental illness, on the kind of drugs you don't even know how to get, and never even heard of the Epstein files. Now, it's natural to look at your life where you work 40 hours a week for just enough to scrape by and think, how does someone even get to be a billionaire in the first place? It's really pretty simple. At some point or another, we've all had the genius thought, what if 1 million people just gave me $1? It would barely inconvenience them, but then I would have $1 million. While most of us stop at this fantasy, impressed by our own raw ingenuity, some people throughout history have gone further, extrapolated on this scheme, and invented what is known today as a business. As an example, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph thought, what if you give me $16 every month and I mail you Shrek 2 on DVD? Easy $6.5 billion. Elon Musk said, what if you give me $8,000 and I pretend to give you a self-driving car every year for the next decade? Richest man on earth. Mark Zuckerberg said, what if I give you an app that collects all of your personal information in a digital database, and you give me a heat lamp and a bowl of grasshoppers? To really drive home how much wealth billionaires have, when someone says they're a billionaire, they're one of only 800 people in the United States. In contrast, if someone says they're a millionaire, it means they have a house. While politically it's commonplace for progressives to hate billionaires because they epitomize late-stage capitalism, I don't make fun of billionaires because I have an ideological bone to pick. I make fun of them because they're really fucking weird. Recently, Peter Thiel, a tech billionaire and right-wing ideas guy, appeared on a podcast and was asked if he thought the human race should survive. He then stammered over the question for 15 seconds before reluctantly answering with the classic, yes, but. Now, I'm no expert in media training, but as I frequently tell Putin, Hamas, and Benjamin Netanyahu on our weekly Zoom meetings, the correct answer to human rights questions is always to say yes right away, and only reveal later that you had your fingers crossed out of frame. Billionaires like Thiel are almost alarmingly out of touch with how to communicate with the general public, because even though he can understand a regular person's life conceptually, he can't relate to them on a personal level. For example, I get really hot at night when I go to bed, so I like to turn the temperature way down, whereas Thiel prefers to sleep in a deep freezer he lays down like a sarcophagus. Now, the good news is that not all billionaires base their whole personality on World of Warcraft expansions, and
Oh, man.
after the magic rock Sauron used to corrupt weak minds and manipulate their will. Warren Buffett, for example, has not only pledged all of his wealth to charity after he dies, but he also still lives a very humble life in his house in Omaha that he bought in 1958 using the change he picked up off the ground. Nevertheless, most billionaires don't do much to shake off the public image that their whole existence is just about lording over their minimum wage warehouse workers as they Zillow the next 2,000 hectares of farmland to buy, sip their cognac, and mutter to their Siamese cat what pleasure it brings them to see the peasants toiling for their coin. But this isn't how billionaires run companies. This is how Mr. Beast comes up with video ideas. The ethical question of should there be billionaires at all is one of the most hot-button issues around right now because wealth inequality has been steadily increasing decade over decade, and many people believe that billionaires don't pay their fair share. This is of course ridiculous, as billionaires get divorced all the time. With that said, it is a common belief that if the government were to confiscate everyone's personal wealth above $999 million, this would lead to a dramatic improvement in the average person. Problem is, even if you were to yoink every stock, bond, and square inch of real estate a billionaire owns, liquidate all of it to straight cash while somehow getting market value, in the US you would get about
Glenn hit the nail in the coffin with this one.
Which would cover 11 months of government spending, or every person in the country would get a one-time payment of around $18,000.
I feel like no one should be able to exceed $100 million. I feel like with $100 million, you could do literally whatever you want in life. And every penny over that just goes to the government body that you live in.
Nothing to scoff at. If you're one of the people who says we should eat the rich, it's important to consider that the average inheritance in the US is $46,000, meaning you would make more money if you ate just one of your parents. Now, because they can't yet buy more of it, billionaires are experts at managing their time. While flying private is out of reach for most of us, there are other tips you can copy from billionaires to save time in your own life. For example, when I make a new account
Yeah,
on a
but
website,
if you're a billionaire, right, you would still be able to do everything you normally do with $100 million in comparison.
I save time by letting Chrome auto-generate an encrypted password.
Can you give
I got
me a
this idea from
small
Elon
loan
Musk,
of
who uses
$1
the
million?
same technique to name his children. When you basically reach level 99 in capitalism, you might ask yourself, what do I do now? Not to worry, once you've reached the level cap, there's still plenty of side quests for you to do. While most regular people spend their time playing video games, doing arts and crafts, or playing a sport, billionaires can choose more exotic things like getting bullied on Twitter, criticizing the Chinese government exactly one time, paying pro athletes to make you feel talented, leaving a planet in search of any novelty that will make the emptiness go away, paying to boost your Path of Exile account, then streaming it to prove to anyone who doubted your multidisciplinary genius
Oh,
that they were in fact
fuck.
correct, exploring the bottom of the ocean to uncover its lost secrets, and of course exploring the bottom of the ocean and then dying instantly. In reality, when you're worth even hundreds of millions of dollars, an ultimately rookie amount, you can pretty much have anything you want. Penthouses, luxury cars, private chef, private plane, giant house, and another giant house in a poor country that kinda sucks but has good weather, and you're not sure if purchasing power parity means the gardeners are getting paid well by their standards, or if you just own slaves.
That house is
With this in
insane.
mind, if you are a billionaire, it's actually pretty hard to think of a way to flex on multi-millionaires, meaning the 23-year-olds on Raya who look like they're 35 aren't going to message you back. That is, of course, until you remember what separates the centimillionaires from the billionaires. Big boat. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of a forest with a random bear or a random man, and she picks the bear every time. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random shark, or stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random Saudi man, and she picks Muhammad every time. This is because men in the forest are broke, meaning they'll try to touch your boob, whereas men on yachts are rich, meaning they have grown weary of material desires and flew you out business class for your quirky personality. While no one has tried to sex traffic me yet, the closest I've been able to get so far was when I was on a holiday in France several years ago and made a day trip to Monaco. Monaco is a tiny sovereign nation basically inside France and is like a Vatican City tax haven for the ultra-wealthy. They have a little garden you can look at near the Monte Carlo casino, which was the only thing I could afford. And as you walk through, you're like, oh, look, a little building. Hopefully this one's a bathroom. Nope, just another Audemars Piguet watch kiosk. Then you pee on it anyway because you're in Europe. Other than this neat oceanographic museum, what I thought was the coolest part of Monaco was the port, which was divided into sections based on how important people in Monaco thought you were. In the very
No, there's no chance of going to Monaco. You wouldn't be able to afford anything that's like going on over there.
inner part of the harbor, you have the literal wage slave section, which is basically all the yachts that I would see back home. Then there's Worthless, which had the biggest yachts I have ever seen in real life prior to this. After that, you have Starter Yacht, which are like floating New York City penthouses. Then the last section in the harbor is, finally, a real yacht, which is one giant pier for the 2 or 3 mega
Oh
yachts
my
that rule
God.
Monaco postcard photo and cost at least $100 million each. Obviously, you don't stop there because these things are a dime a dozen. So then you go.
Like, realistically, when you think about millionaires and billionaires who have yachts, how often do they use them? They're not using them every day. They're docked for like 363 days of the year. They use it maybe like once or twice in a week. So I feel like there should just be a rental service where you can get like super yachts or really big yachts, and where you can just take it out for a certain period of time and then just give it back. You save so many fucking resources.
Out in the ocean and you get, what is this, a harbor for ants? Now you might be thinking what I was thinking at the time, which was,
Yes, man.
why on earth would you want a mega yacht so big you can't even park it in the harbor? Exactly, to store your other yachts in, Brokey, get with the program. At this point, I too was wondering how I could acquire a Russian nesting yacht until I was like, speaking of, what's that? Only a few kilometers farther out from the shore was this thing, which is the world's largest sailing yacht, and in the top 5 most expensive yachts ever built. It's owned by Andrei Melnichenko and designed by the guy who made this cool lemon squeezer that my mom just bought. Even though I had forgotten the oligarch class yacht existed, this guy claims he does
This looks like a spider.
Doesn't even have ties to the Russian state, making him just a regular, unimportant billionaire. This argument, of course, didn't work on the Italian government after Russia invaded Ukraine because they saw the yacht parked outside their shoreline and said, yoink. Which brings us to the true top of the hierarchy, which isn't who owns the biggest yacht, it's who owns the biggest ocean. And you know what that means. That's right, baby, the taxpayer wins again. Checkmate, billionaires, me and the boys have once again risen to the top. Now, if you're looking to... oops, wrong slide. If you're looking to avoid calls from the IRS or other scammers that manage to get your email or phone number from Zuckerberg's databank, you should try today's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni is a service that contacts data brokers on your behalf to request the removal of your information from their products and services. This means it won't be able to be purchased or acquired by potential scammers, spammers, or crazy exes, even though you wish they would sometimes. This is something data brokers have to comply with, they just don't really want to, so to do it yourself manually would take dozens or hundreds of hours. All you have to do is sign up for an Incogni account, and right away it'll get to work, while giving you reports on what has been initiated, in progress, and completed. When you use it for the first time, you're going to think, how did it start so fast? I haven't even told it what my data is yet. But that's what you did when you signed up, suddenly causing you to realize why it makes sense that everyone in the world has your email and phone number now. If you'd like to give Incogni a try, you can use promo code CASUALLY at the link in the description to save 60% off an annual plan. Just make sure you leave a bowl of grasshoppers out for Mark, as he comes for you when you rest.
That was good. That was really fucking good. God damn it, Glenn. I'm getting broken from today's stream, holy shit.
Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I came in like a
Damn. Anne Hathaway is actually a really good actress. Alright. I think we'll leave it there for today. That was a good set of videos. My throat is so gone. Oh boy. Wee. That was good. I enjoyed that. Has she done any movies recently? I feel like she hasn't for a while. The only one I can remember was Devil Wear Prada, and then the one with the old guy. And he was like coming into a workforce full of young people, and then she got like attached to him. Does anyone remember the name of that? Yeah, surely someone will know it from that description. Cough, cough, pink. Ah, Silverware product 2 will be good. Wonder what the Odyssey is. I need to find this now. The idea of you. No. Anne Hathaway. Movie with old person. The intern! Yeah! Thank you, S-Man. Listen here, the big wahoonie. You have 3 notifications because my internet decided to shit the bed. Thank you for the 49 months, though. Thank you, dude. Hope you're going alright. And hey, Riv. Hope you're well, too. Have I watched the idea review? I don't know what movies I watch. I don't know names of movies. You know what's a good movie from Anne Hathaway? Princess Diaries. Horselong 1978. Thank you for the follow. Unfortunately for you, your Horselong doesn't compare in comparison to mine. I told him the moment he came into chat, I'm giving it back to him after yesterday. Go back to France already. Why do you just want me to be closer to you, Wahini? Is that what that comment is for? Same with Nikki, apparently. Now she's gonna be all upset. No, she knows I don't know names of things. Did you know that if you don't have asthma and you use an asthma puffy, you get asthma? No way. That ain't true, good sir. And if you hold a battery up to your ear on the positive side for 5 minutes straight, you go deaf. I don't know about that one either. I think it would have to depend on what kind of battery and if it's even energized. But let's see. I am Googling it. Listen here. Okay, you're literally referring to hearing aids. But actually, no, that's not anything to do with your ears. It's just... Yeah, no. Made you look. What a spaz. Don't worry, dude. The only one looking like a spaz right now is you. You got scammed. I know. Damn. Imagine checking facts. It's okay. Anyway, we are going to end it there for tonight. But thank you guys for chilling and hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow for some expedition. But depending on how we go, I may or may not stream on Thursday. Let's see. Yeah. Is there anyone online right now? Not really. I just dropped my phone. How close are you to finishing it? No idea. I don't think too close though, because I've been kind of like dilly-dallying around everywhere. But you guys, take care, stay safe, and until next time, we see you when we see you. Bye.